When I was a teenager, my life took a harsh turn because of lies my twin brother spread about me. Years later, after witnessing my achievements, my parents reached out asking for financial help, even though they had previously abandoned me. I'm a 28-year-old woman with a twin brother, and growing up, our parents treated us very differently. For some reason, they seemed convinced that my brother was meant to achieve greatness, while I was labelled the black sheep, simply because I preferred sports and socializing over studying. They constantly compared us, which chipped away at my self-esteem from an early age. As a child, I had to watch my brother have extravagant birthday parties with his friends while I was barely acknowledged. He could have sleepovers, but I wasn't even allowed to bring my friends home. Honestly, I despised most of my childhood. The only family member who showed me genuine care was my grandmother. Whenever she visited, she'd bring me my favorite chocolates and sometimes slip me a few dollars so I could treat myself. Over the years, their obvious favoritism toward my brother turned into emotional abuse aimed at me. My parents mocked my grades and belittled my interests, making it feel like no matter what I did, I could never meet their standards. Even though I excelled in sports, they forbade me from extracurricular activities, insisting I focus solely on academics, just like my brother. This left me frustrated and helpless. During my sophomore year, I got grounded again for having Snapchat on my phone. I had done nothing wrong. Like any teenager, I just wanted to keep in touch with friends. Yet my parents treated this as a grave betrayal, destroying my belongings and removing my bedroom door, declaring I would have no privacy under their roof. Instead of supporting me, my brother exploited the chaos. He developed a habit of lying about me, falsely accusing me of things I didn't do, so he could avoid consequences. If he took something without permission, he shifted the blame onto me, and my parents, already biased against me, believed him. He humiliated me in front of friends and mocked my appearance. Despite this, I maintained a large circle of friends because of my approachable nature, while my brother struggled socially. His jealousy intensified when he realized I could connect with others easily. This jealousy escalated after our 14th birthday. On his birthday, no one came to celebrate him, while my friends made sure I had a memorable day with ice cream and laughter. Enraged, my brother started spreading vicious lies, claiming I was abusive toward him at home. To make the lies believable, he even self-inflicted injuries, presenting them as proof of my supposed violence. He explained away these injuries to our parents as accidents from sports or play, and gradually people started believing him. Soon, even my friends began treating me differently. Invitations dwindled, casual conversations became awkward, and whispers about my alleged behavior circulated. The betrayal hit hard. When I confronted my brother, he ignored me and smirked, saying I deserved to be isolated. I felt terrified, unable to speak with my parents, fearing they'd believe him over me. The lies eventually reached our principal. Both my brother and I were called into his office, along with our parents. I hoped my brother would admit the truth, but he stuck to his fabricated story, portraying me as violent and resentful of the love he received from our parents. My mother wept, defending him, and my father praised him for bravery in speaking up. I tried desperately to defend myself, pleading that none of it was true. Despite my protests, I was suspended for 10 days as an example to other students. Returning home, my parents, embarrassed and furious, started packing my belongings and ultimately threw me out. I begged my grandmother for help, and she arrived, taking me safely away while confronting my parents about their cruelty. It was the first time I witnessed her unwavering strength and loyalty. After the suspension ended, returning to school was like stepping into a battlefield. I was ostracized, ignored by my peers, and branded unfairly, while my brother gained sympathy and friends. I kept to myself, going to classes and eating lunch alone, with no support from my parents. My grandmother continually reminded me that it was not my fault and encouraged me to keep moving forward. When I finally left for college, I experienced true freedom for the first time. I met like-minded peers, formed real friendships, and began building a life independent of my family's toxicity. I discovered my talent for content writing, starting as a freelancer while never relying on my parents financially. Over time, I developed a successful career, became financially independent, and even traveled as a digital nomad, slowly healing from my past wounds. Over the years, I've explored much of the world, yet there is still so much left to see. The only family I truly considered mine throughout this journey was my grandmother, whom I adored deeply. Though she was sad when I moved out, she understood my need for independence. Despite a busy schedule, I always made time for her, visiting on weekends, sharing meals, or simply sitting together on the porch, talking about everything from childhood memories to current events. Often, I would dedicate long afternoons helping her with chores or accompanying her to the park for leisurely walks. Recently, I completed a major project for a high-profile client. I cannot mention the brand, but it was a significant milestone in my career. After finishing, I asked the team I worked with to leave positive reviews on my freelance profiles, which they happily did. I shared screenshots on Instagram, aware that this exposure could be pivotal for my professional growth. As expected, other content writers reached out to congratulate me, and some even shared my story to help expand my network. This led to new inquiries from strangers seeking help with their websites. My relatives also began noticing my progress and congratulated me. Eventually, the principal of my college contacted me, inviting me to speak to students about building a career in content writing. I was nervous. Public speaking has never been my strength, but I accepted. Standing before a room of eager students, sharing my journey and insights, I felt a sense of fulfillment, as though my life had come full circle. I spoke about the challenges I faced, the perseverance required to succeed, and the importance of sustaining oneself despite adversity. Some clips from this seminar went viral on Facebook, earning recognition for my hard work. Shortly after, I was invited to appear on a local news show discussing the benefits of content writing. Nervous yet excited, I shared my experiences, emphasizing the impact of client reviews and how simple appreciation can unlock unexpected opportunities. The chance to reach a broader audience and inspire others in the field was both humbling and exhilarating. After the TV appearance, relatives and cousins began discovering how well I was doing in my career. Because my parents never mentioned my achievements, they were unaware that I had worked with popular brands and appeared on TV. Word spread quickly within the family. A few days later, while working on another project, I noticed 6 missed calls from my mother. I was shocked. It had been years since I last heard from her. Hesitant, I returned the call. She congratulated me, and my father, likely nearby, joined the conversation, asking about my well-being. Initially, it didn't seem unusual until they began inquiring about my earnings. I told them that my income was none of their business, but my father insisted that as family I shouldn't hesitate to share. I responded firmly that I was financially independent and would not be providing money. My mother then shared how difficult life had become for them, requesting financial help for renovating their house, which was in poor condition with no savings. Shocked, I asked why they were asking me for money after years of silence and neglect. While I appreciated their congratulations, I refused to offer assistance. My mother argued that I was being selfish and that supporting family was my duty. My father reinforced this, claiming it was the least I could do as their daughter. Frustrated and furious, I decided to teach them a lesson. I informed them that I would only help under one condition. They had to publicly admit that my brother was the mastermind behind the false rumors that had damaged my reputation. I demanded that my brother face accountability and humiliation similar to what I had endured, and that my parents acknowledge the pain they caused. Both parents argued, insisting a private discussion would suffice, but I held my ground. This condition was non-negotiable if they wanted any future assistance. The argument escalated, with my father asserting his authority and my mother pleading emotionally. I reminded them that it had been their actions that led me to be raised by my grandmother, not them. Despite their agitation, I made it clear, if they sought any support from me, the truth had to be acknowledged publicly, and my brother had to face consequences. Following this conversation, my parents repeatedly called, but I ignored them. I began to regret even answering their initial call. I wanted to know if in a difficult position. Within a week, the overwhelming support from friends and strangers reassured me that I had made the right choice, not engaging with parents who had mistreated me. My brother sent a hostile text after my parents' attempts to reach me failed. He dismissed my struggles, reminding me of my unmarried and childless status, and pressured me to do the right thing by funding their renovations. His message revealed a lack of empathy and a desire to manipulate me once again. Fueled by frustration and a sense of justice, I decided to expose the truth. I drafted an email to my parents and close relatives, detailing the harsh treatment I endured as a child, the false rumours my brother spread, and the suspension that followed. I attached a screenshot of my brother admitting he lied, hoping to reveal the truth to everyone. Within a month, family members reacted. Many expressed shock and apologised for their ignorance, while my parents and brother continued abusive messaging. I contacted a lawyer who sent a cease and desist notice, legally prohibiting further contact. This action seemed to finally restrain them. My grandmother fully supported me, and she remains the only family member whose opinion truly matters. 2 months later, everything is stable. My content writing business is thriving, and invitations to speak at seminars and podcasts continue to grow, solidifying my professional reputation. I remain close to my grandmother, spending quality time with her, sharing meals, gardening, and enjoying heartfelt conversations. Therapy has also become part of my healing journey. Professionally and personally, I am in a strong place, finally free from the toxicity of my past.